Welcome back, everyone. Today, we embark on a journey through time, venturing back to the medieval world. But this isn't your typical historical expedition. We're stepping into a realm where the lines between reason and absurdity blur. We're delving into the intriguing world of animal trials. Imagine a courtroom filled with the squawking of hens, the buzzing of bees, or the croaking of frogs. Sounds like a barnyard talent show, right? Pigs, rats, even flies. None were exempt from medieval law. Talk about a real fly-on-the-wall situation. Join me as we unearth these extraordinary tales of animal justice. Trust me, you won't believe your ears or your eyes. Our journey takes us to Melle, France, in 1290. A community reliant on agriculture, intertwined with the land's bounty. A plague of voracious rodents threatens their existence. And no, they didn't have a giant cat to save the day. Rats, relentless and numerous, decimate the farmers' crops. Think of it as an all-you-can-eat buffet for rodents. Villagers' pleas for divine intervention seem unheard. Maybe they should have tried cheese offerings. Desperate, they turn to the law. Because why not sue the rats? The accused are hundreds of rats. Imagine the courtroom seating arrangement. A trial unfolds, a testament to medieval beliefs. And perhaps their sense of humor. The court convenes to address the rodent crisis. Yes, you heard that right. A lawyer is appointed to represent the rats. Imagine being the guy who has to defend rodents. Can he sway the court in favor of his clients? Or will he just be chasing his own tail? Arguments are presented, evidence weighed. Cheese exhibits, anyone? The prosecution paints a picture of devastation. And not just because of the rats' bad manners. The defense argues the rats act on survival instincts. After all, who can resist a good snack? The court deliberates on culpability. This is one tough nut to crack. The verdict? Guilty. The sentence? Extermination. Talk about a harsh cheese tax. And hey folks, before we dive into our next wild animal trial, if you're enjoying this legal circus, do us a favor and give that like button a good smack. It helps the YouTube algorithm find its way to all the other curious cats out there. Plus, subscribing is like adopting a new pet, only way less messy. So hit that subscribe button and join our growing pack of legal jokesters. Now back to the show. Our next tale transports us to the year 1386, to the town of Falaise in Normandy, France. This is not a story of petty theft or mischief, but one of a far graver nature. And no, it's not about someone stealing the last piece of pie. An unspeakable crime has been committed, a crime that has shaken the community to its core, and probably made them rethink their dinner choices. A young child lies dead, the victim of a horrific attack. No, it wasn't a dragon. But the perpetrator is not a human assailant, but a creature often associated with more domestic settings. A pig. Yes, a pig. This is no ordinary trial. This is a full-blown criminal case with the weight of the law bearing down on an animal. The pig in question, its grunts and squeals echoing in the courtroom, stands accused of murder. Witnesses are called forth, their testimonies painting a harrowing picture of the incident, and probably making everyone reconsider bacon. The scene they describe is one of chaos and terror. The severity of the crime elevates this trial to a genuine legal debate and a bizarre spectacle. The pig is seen as a dangerous beast, deserving the full force of the law. Lawyers are assigned, underscoring the gravity of the situation. The prosecution argues for the harshest punishment. The defense focuses on the pig's inability to comprehend its actions. After all, it's not like it could read the law books. Can an animal be held accountable for such a heinous act? Or is this just a porky predicament? The pig of Falaise is condemned to be hung, a stark reminder of medieval justice, and a cautionary tale for all swine. The year is 1510. In the serene French countryside, nestled amongst rolling hills, lies the Abbey of Fécamp. Here, a community of Benedictine monks has dedicated their lives to prayer and contemplation. But their tranquil existence is about to be disrupted by an unusual adversary, the common frog. The monks find themselves besieged by an ear-splitting chorus of croaks emanating from the abbey's ponds. The frog's nightly serenades, once a soothing backdrop to their meditations, have become an intolerable nuisance, disrupting their sleep and their prayers. Driven to their wits' end, the monks decide to take unprecedented action. They lodge a formal complaint with the local magistrate, accusing the frogs of disturbing the peace. The magistrate, faced with this unusual case, agrees to hear the monks' grievances, and so begins the extraordinary trial of the frogs of Fécamp. The monks, robed in their habits, present their case with utmost seriousness, arguing that the frogs' incessant croaking constitutes a form of unholy racket. The frogs, of course, remain blissfully unaware of the proceedings, continuing their amphibian symphony with unwavering enthusiasm. They clearly didn't get the memo. We journey now to the year 1570 to the town of Montbéliard, nestled in the foothills of the French Jura Mountains. Here, amidst the cobblestone streets and timber-framed houses, a peculiar legal drama is about to unfold. Our story centers around a group of hens, their clucking and scratching a familiar sound in the town. These seemingly innocuous creatures stand accused of a most heinous crime, trespassing and causing damage to a local man's prized garden. Outraged by this blatant disregard for his property, the garden's owner decides to seek justice. Yes, you heard that right. He's taking the hens to court. The hens, rounded up and held in a makeshift coop, await their fate like feathered felons. The trial is taken with surprising seriousness, as if these hens were masterminds of a poultry conspiracy. The prosecution paints a vivid picture of the hens' destructive rampage, claiming they were pecking with malicious intent. The defense argues the hens acted on their innate instincts, not as part of some grand chicken plot. The court reaches a verdict: guilty. The hens are now officially outlaws. The hens are allowed to return to their coop, their criminal records now clucking behind them. The year is 1620. Our journey takes us to the heart of rural France, where a different kind of animal trial is about to take place. This time, the defendants are not feathered or scaled, but are buzzing insects, a colony of honeybees. Yes, bees in the dock. These industrious creatures, known for their vital role in pollination and honey production, find themselves at the center of a legal dispute. Talk about a sticky and delicious situation. A local man has lodged a complaint, claiming to have been repeatedly stung by the bees, causing him considerable pain and discomfort. Guess he wasn't a fan of their buzzing hospitality. He argues that the bees, far from being harmless insects, pose a threat to public safety. Who knew bees could be such troublemakers? The court, taking his complaint seriously, agrees to hear his case. Looks like these bees are in for a real trial by jury. The bees, of course, cannot buzz in their own defense. Their defense is taken up by a local beekeeper who is quite the buzzkill in court. He argues that bees sting out of self-defense, not because they're trying to be mean. Bees play a crucial role in the ecosystem, pollinating crops and producing honey. Without them, we'd be in a sticky situation. To punish the bees would be to punish nature itself. Talk about a hive mind. The bees are acquitted of any wrongdoing. They fly off, free as a bee. The year is 1558. The quaint town of Tournus, nestled amidst the rolling hills of France, is about to witness an event that will go down in history. A donkey, known for its stoicism and strength, finds itself in the middle of a courtroom drama. The charge? Pilfering precious herbs from a local field. Clearly, this donkey has a taste for the finer things in life. The scene is set. The judges, looking as stern as if they just bit into a lemon. The townsfolk gathered in anticipation, their murmurs sounding like a medieval gossip fest. The donkey, blissfully unaware of the gravity of the situation, stands there patiently, its large, doleful eyes reflecting an air of bewildered innocence. Or maybe it's just wondering where the next snack is coming from. Could this creature really be capable of such a heinous crime? Or is it just a case of mistaken identity? The court is assembled, ready to deliver judgment upon this four-legged criminal. The trial unfolds, witnesses are called, testimonies are heard. The evidence is presented, painting a picture of a ravenous beast, relentlessly consuming the fruits of a farmer's labor. However, the defense mounts a compelling argument, appealing to the very nature of the accused. A donkey, they argue, is a grazing animal, its instincts driving it to seek sustenance from the land. The court, after much deliberation, reaches a verdict. The donkey, they declare, is not guilty. In a display of surprising empathy, they recognize the animal's innate behavior, acknowledging that it was merely following its natural inclinations. Justice, it seems, has prevailed. One can only imagine the donkey's relief, perhaps even a bray of joy, as it trotted out of the courtroom, free to munch on grass once more. Our journey through the annals of unusual justice takes us to the year 1370. The setting is a hallowed space, a place of worship and contemplation. But even here, the long arm of the law reaches out, this time to address a most unusual grievance. The defendants on this occasion are not creatures of great size or strength, but rather a nuisance known to humankind since time immemorial: flies. Yes, you heard that right, flies. These tiny creatures, with their incessant buzzing and propensity for landing on anything and everything, stand accused of disrupting a sacred ritual, the priest's sermon. Talk about a bugging issue. Imagine the scene: a dimly lit church, sunlight streaming through stained glass windows. The priest, adorned in ornate robes, delivering his sermon to a devout congregation. And then, the uninvited guests arrive. But all is not well. The congregation is swatting, the priest is flustered, and the flies? Well, they're having a field day. A swarm of flies, attracted by the warmth and light, descends upon the church, their buzzing a constant distraction to both the priest and his parishioners. It was as if the flies had RSVP'd to the sermon. The priest, unable to maintain the sanctity of his sermon, decides to take action. He probably wished he had a giant fly swatter. They're buzzing a constant hum in the otherwise solemn chamber. It was like a tiny, annoying orchestra. The prosecution, perhaps with a touch of theatricality, argues that the fly's actions constitute a grave offense, a disruption of the divine order. The defense, however, was nowhere to be found. The court, in a moment that blends absurdity with the deeply held beliefs of the time, declares the flies guilty. The flies, of course, had no comment. Their transgression, while seemingly minor, is not to be tolerated. No one likes a buzzing interruption. However, the sentence handed down reflects a degree of leniency. After all, they were just flies. The flies are ordered to leave the church and to cease their disruptive behavior, as if they could understand. The sentence, while perhaps impossible to enforce, highlights the lengths to which medieval society would go to maintain order and decorum, and you thought your legal system was complicated. The year is 1660, and the city of Zurich finds itself facing an unusual predicament. The defendants on trial this time are not human, but creatures of the night bats. These nocturnal mammals, with their leathery wings and silent flight, have long been associated with mystery and superstition, and apparently a knack for causing a ruckus. Now, a large group of them stand accused of invading the city, their presence sparking fear and unease among the citizens. Talk about an uninvited guest list. The citizens of Zurich, accustomed to the order of their daily lives, are unsettled by this influx of winged creatures. Who invited these party crashers, they wonder. The bats, they claim, are a menace, their presence a disruption to the peace and tranquility of the city. Can't a person get some sleep around here? Their nocturnal habits, so different from the rhythms of human life, only serve to deepen the sense of unease. Night owls, am I right? The court deliberates carefully, probably wondering if they should consult a bat expert or just Batman. Ultimately, a verdict is reached, after much wing flapping and squeaking. The bats are to be expelled from Zurich. probably for not paying their bat taxes. Driven from their roosts, they seek refuge elsewhere, maybe in a less judgmental city. We journey now to the year 1445, to a humble farmstead where a different kind of drama is unfolding. The tranquility of rural life has been shattered, the farmer's livelihood threatened by unsettling events. Chickens have been disappearing from their coops, their loss keenly felt by the farmer and his family. Suspicion falls upon a creature of the night, a silent predator with piercing eyes and talons as sharp as razors. An owl. This bird, with its reputation for stealth and its taste for small prey, becomes the prime suspect in the case of the missing chickens. Who knew poultry theft could be such a hoot? The owl, a creature of instinct, cannot speak for itself. But if it could, it might say, "Who, me?" Its actions, driven by survival, impact the farmer's livelihood. And the chickens? Well, they're not exactly fans. The owl's role in the ecosystem necessitates hunting prey. It's like a medieval DoorDash, but for owls. Judges consider the owl's nature and the farmer's loss, and maybe the owl's impressive night vision. The verdict surprises many. The owl is acquitted. The chickens, however, remain skeptical. Its actions are deemed natural instincts, not criminal. Case closed. Feathers unruffled. From the rats of Melle, who probably just wanted a snack, to the owl of 1445, who might have been the original night owl, these trials offer a fascinating glimpse into a time when the lines between the human and animal worlds were hilariously blurred. They remind us of a past where the natural world was not something separate, but rather an integral part of daily life. Like that one neighbor who never leaves, a force to be reckoned with, feared, respected, and sometimes even put on trial, because why not? While we may chuckle at the seeming absurdity of these trials today, they offer valuable insights into the evolving relationship between humans and animals, and our tendency to blame others for our problems. Well, that wraps up our tour of courtroom chaos with animals. If this journey through bizarre justice tickled your funny bone, make sure to hit that like button like it's a mischievous mink on trial. And don't just sneak away. Subscribe for more wild and wacky legal tales. Join our courtroom comedy crew and help spread the laughter. Until next time, keep questioning everything, even the cat's alibi. See you in the next episode.